Okay, so
Video
there is
game
one
stuff,
thing
yeah.
we're making fun of this actually as an introductory topic to something else, right? We know on the Not Your Average Show we do things that are a little different from everything else because we have varying interests. We do cars, we do aviation, we do old games, we do lots of stuff, right? So MSN, if you're familiar with it, they turned around, they pulled out a poll, and their poll basically was about old video games, and they basically wanted to see in their poll which classic arcade game is your favorite.
Ooh,
And
actually, if you guys are watching in chat, tell us, like,
yo,
literally vote in chat because we're interested to know as well.
I'd like to know because here's the thing. The first one they gave you
So,
a
yeah,
choice
what's the first
of
one?
Pac-Man, Donkey Kong, Galaga, and Pong.
Or something else.
Or something else. And believe it or not,
Classic.
out of 182,000 votes, something else won.
Yeah, I'm gonna vote
because-
something else too.
Okay, because let's first digest this one, right? Just a little bit more. Who's off that list that should have been on there?
We're talking. I think what should be taken into account too, right? If you look at this, it's like classic game,
Okay, classic.
right? Because if you said, oh, Zelda, or I mean, Zelda's not new either. It's got some history there.
Sure.
But I mean, if you look at like Donkey Kong, we're talking like in the arcade, Donkey Kong, Galago's in the arcade. But these
Sure.
are all arcade games, like the machines,
Mm-hmm.
like pure classics.
Pure classics, right?
So
if you look
I'd probably go Galaga off that list.
Okay, so I would have gone Pac-Man because Pac-Man was one of the all times, right? But now here's the problem. Pong is from a different era. That's what I found was the biggest issue. That Pong is the original classic,
It
almost
is.
like Space War,
It is.
right? So I don't see how that made it up against Galaga, Donkey Kong, and Pac-Man, which are almost iconic in the sense that that's something else. But now the other problem is classic arcade game favorite.
Are we talking like in the arcade?
Well, then
Is that
there's
what they're implying?
yeah. Well, then I'm thinking, well, there's Burger Time, there's Bartender, there's Gorf, there's Frogger, like there's Centipede. There's tons off that list that they left, which now it makes perfect sense why something else won. Okay, that's interesting to me. All right, so let's go one step further into this conversation because they didn't stop there, right? They had a little bit more. So if I was going to say to you,
console.
which classic video game console franchise is your favorite? What would be your first one?
Me?
Yeah, you. No, the other guy in the room.
You talking to chat?
I'm talking, or in chat. You guys tell me what you think, but also
to
first
Zelda, man. Dude, we love Mario. I mean, Mario's
Okay.
got a ton of games, spin-offs everywhere.
you. Okay,
But
Zelda fans, and I'm sure my wife would agree with you. Zelda, right? She's a huge Zelda fan.
Yeah.
So this is the big one here. We get Mario in there at 35%, Sonic at 4%, Mega Man 1%,
more than 1%.
Zelda 7%, and that's out of 139,000 people, ponying up their opinions. So that's an interesting one to me because console franchise favorite. There's something else still wins.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's like, what is it?
So what is it? What's
like
the something else?
Right in. One thing maybe to point out as we're talking about these, notice at the bottom, total responses. We're in the nearly 100, well, not 40, right at 139.
Almost.
139,000.
Sure.
Right? So don't think this is one of those, I mean, you go, there's certainly some polls that, people they look at it and they're like, I'm not voting on that, I don't care.
Sure.
But yeah, 139,000.
Zelda. Yeah.
Not bad. Yeah, Brad's in there with Zelda. I'm with you, Brad. I mean,
Okay.
yeah.
I gotta say this.
Classic.
There's notables. There's notables that are missing from this list. Huge notables.
What's
so
a classic console?
classic console that I would say would be up there that's missing. Halo.
That's pretty classic.
Okay. Master Chief would have to be up there, and that he could probably be part of that 53% because that is a major franchise that was associated with the complete launch of a game system, the original Xbox.
And
right?
Is this poll include PC games?
They just say console because
Because I'm thinking, as soon as you said that, I'm thinking, oh dang, what about like Doom, Duke Nukem? I mean, not Duke Nukem, Wolfenstein.
see now for
Doom.
PC Wolfenstein
Or
would
Quake.
be
Some people love Quake.
right, but there's not a
Doom.
favorite console franchise. Well, I guess yeah, franchise would be Quake. So Quake for the PC
Doom
would
is up
probably be
there.
right up there. Doom would be up there. So I think that this category. So whoever made these polls, I'm not trying to knock them completely, but what I'm saying is there's some things on there that on that list that I would have liked to have seen more, because there's also Banjo Kazooie.
Oh geez,
Who else?
Earthworm Jim.
Earthworm Jim.
And some ones that have a bunch of
Oh
sequels.
God, there's so many others out there on that list that have been left off. But if you guys think of any that are left off that list, let us know in the comments below, because we want to hear from you on that as well. So we can go one step further. They asked another set of questions. Okay, so now this one is aimed directly at our age group, I would say, which is, do you still own any of these? And that means consoles.
Yeah,
Contra. There you go. James has got one in there. Contra, right?
Yeah,
that's another big one.
For them to...
Huh? Oh, I'm going to bring it up in a minute.
Okay,
but here's what I want to know. If anybody's in chat right now, let me know what game systems you still have, because I'm going to rattle off.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me rattle off what I have, and then you can all scream in agony and then tell me what. So I have a TRS-80, an Atari 400, a Mattel, in the Aquarius computer. I have a this gets bad. I have a 2600, right? I have an SNES, a Genesis CD, the original PlayStation. I got rid of my Dreamcast, dumb move. PlayStation 2, Nintendo 64, a Jaguar, a 3DO, and what else do I have? And then anything else in the modern realm of video games, I've already got. Okay, that's part of my collection. Okay, and I know, Corey, you've got quite a few of the same.
I have a lot. I don't have quite as many.
Okay.
I mean, just naming a few. Of course, we have SNES.
Right.
Regular Nintendo.
Mm-hmm.
GameCube.
Sure.
Which, obviously, Xbox.
I have the Xbox 360.
Or Xbox One, sorry.
Xbox
I don't
One.
have. I have my old Xbox. I'm pretty sure.
One X.
PS2. I think my PS1 is somewhere. Obviously, we had all the handhelds. We had the Game Boys, color Game Boys, Game Boy. Where the folds out, then another one folds out, then we had a color one that folds out. There's one that has a printer, right? There's one that had a printer, one that had that one.
Right.
I mean, there's all over the place.
Okay, so we have all of those, right? So hey, and if you guys in the comments below, let us know which ones you have, and if you'd like us to do an actual episode on the old console games, because I think out of all the ones, the most interesting is the Jaguar. Anyone with a Wii, we have a Wii.
Oh, geez, a Wii.
We have a Wii. We have a Wii. Yep.
Yep. We got a Wii.
All right. So here you go. Here's the results of this one.
We got 2 Wiis.
Do you still own any of these? Atari 2600, 4%. Nintendo Entertainment System, 11%. Sega Genesis, 2%. Original PlayStation, 5%. And no, was 78% out of winner of nearly the same amount of votes of 139,000.
I guess nobody's got any of those.
So here's the most interesting thing, okay? And I'm trying to figure out why there's such a discrepancy between the amount of Nintendo owners, Sega owners that have held on to stuff, and the original PlayStation and the 2600. 2600 I can understand from sheer age. The Nintendo Entertainment System was solid state, meaning it's cartridge based. It probably survived a little bit better than, say, the original PlayStation, which the original PlayStation had discs, and their original CD player had a flaw. Okay, so for some of them. But the Sega Genesis is also solid state, but the Nintendo Entertainment System wins by a long shot outside of the no category.
10%.
Nearly 10%.
Minus the other 70%.
So then I guess we have to go back and see that Mario obviously took it out over Sonic in the poll previously, so that kind of holds out for Mario to be 35% over Sonic. So that's something of interest, right? So we want to know from you guys, what did you hold on to from your video game days, and what would you think would be one that should have been on this list? You too.
Yeah, no, I'm thinking about it. I mean, ask people.
I think so
honestly,
too.
That was like well, no, I mean, there's other ones. There was the what was Sega's handheld? It was Color.
The game. Oh God, now you're gonna.
It's
because I know the Ataris was the Lynx. Wasn't the game?
What was it called? It was.
Better look it up now.
Fairly wide and was black.
Yeah.
And it was cartridge based as well.
Because then there was because also the Neo Geo would have been one that I would hold on to. Maybe the ColecoVision. Oh God, I have also the original
not Game Gear.
Coleco Telstar. Forgot that on the list.
Game Gear.
Game Gear.
Right?
Game Gear.
So Game Gear was one of the first ones that was color, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
After obviously Game Boy, which was a company, right? Game Boy, Game Gear. And I did play a lot of Game Gear.
Right.
That was good. And obviously Sonic was on there, but there was also like Prince of Persia was on there.
Oh God.
I mean, some other classic ones.
What was the one? Oh, I also have a Commodore Amiga, which had all those great games by Psygnosis before they actually came out for the actual PlayStation, which was
Oh
fantastic.
man.
So hold on. There's what's the one where the guy goes back in time from the Super Collider and then has to save those oh god, they just did a new version of it for the Xbox. Oh god. He goes back in time, he drives his little car up, and then he's only got a phaser, and it's like something in time, but we'll check that out. All right, so here's the bigger question, right? Now, if I was going to ask you guys out there, are video games today better than they were in the 80s or 90s, or which one had better video games? I'd say between the 80s and 90s compared to today.
This is another question from.
Yeah, this is.
But it says compared to today, 80s or 90s had better or worse video games,
right.
Or then a third option you don't know or you don't.
What do you think? Who wins? The winner is better video games, okay, compared to today. Worse video games, and then 47% of people said, "I don't know."
What does that even mean?
I don't.
Like, okay, compared to today, guys that are gamers watching our show, right? Do you like games overall now, more or less than you 80s or 90s?
That's kind of
the question. Like, I mean, and so for me, there's obviously some nostalgia with games that I grew up on, obviously because
of
when I was young and when games we played when we were up. But I like games now that do different stuff, obviously, than the games back then could. Obviously, for a lot of just technical reasons, or complex, or obviously just advanced. All the code is obviously. I have very fond memories of Wolfenstein 3D.
Right.
Running through there, and that game obviously is not hardly as advanced as FPS games these days. So I mean. I don't know. James says in chat, still got his PS1, PS2, PS3, X-Bone Halo, 360 Reach, and X1, X. Nice.
Sure.
I forgot about Reach. Yeah. ODSTs.
ODST, right?
Oh man.
How about Oh my god, there's so many good games out there that I'm thinking about for the Amiga, and I'm really stuck on this one game. It's like something about time. No, it is Another World. Another World was one of those games that I think.
That one.
Don't you remember Another World?
I don't think so.
Oh, actually. You got to check out Another World. They still have it for the Xbox. It's fantastic. So I want to know, what do you guys think? What was left out of these polls? Because hey, I honestly think that today's video games are better by a different standard, because I think the older games you were limited by one button. You were limited by maybe one control axis at a time on a joystick. There's a lot of different things that have happened in video games. So I don't think you can really relate between today and old games, because obviously games today are better looking, more complicated. They have a different depth of storyline. However, one could say that Zelda has more intriguing qualities. A Mario game has more, what would be the replayability and functionality in its gameplay, because side scrollers still maintain ultimate playability in some areas, and speed runs and things of that nature make them highly popular.
I'm just thinking you're thinking about old games again. Right? We were talking before the stream about like Star Wars games back on old PC.
Sure.
Dark Forces, X-Wing, TIE Fighter, Rebels.
Oh yeah.
Those games were pretty good too. I mean.
So, and here, I'll give you a prime example.
Do you remember Myst?
I do remember Myst. And Myst was a click and play adventure game, which was literally you went through, but they were all very well. Yeah, they were well rendered graphic puzzles, and it was basically almost like a website today, where you basically click through different scenes and scenarios, and it would take you to a cutscene to the next one. And you could probably do the same game with Adobe Premiere almost at this point.
For sure, yeah.
Actually, you could do it with Acrobat, I think, real easily. But hey, that was another good one. Just to bring out another one, if you were going to compare something like X-Wing today to Squadrons, right?
Yeah.
Because EA Squadrons, which is their new shot at the Star Wars realm, which I love the game. It was a good game. I have it on my PC. Played it quite a few times. Unfortunately, didn't have a lot of people to play it with, so didn't get a lot of shelf life there. But there's still, I think kick the living crap out of everything in the old, Star Wars arsenal. But
that's another thing actually to bring up. Not a question, but games in general that you enjoy that are multiplayer games, or games that you enjoy that are not multiplayer games. Because right, some games these days are made to be multiplayer, and likewise, some games are made these days to be like co-op or online. I mean, some games are only online, right? Then there's games that are meant to really to just not be online. They're first-person adventure games, and that's what they are.
Ironically,
so the first game for me that really did multiplayer, Halo. LAN parties.
No.
LAN parties. Oh my god.
Battlefield 1942 was the first game that I think I did online multiplayer like regularly, to the point where I was like, oh, you need more people in a room.
Now here's a game. I don't know if Brad's still in chat, but I played a game with Brad over the internet. Descent.
Oh god, Descent.
Descent was awesome.
Descent was the game.
I do not miss the dial-up sound trying to get connected at all. But Descent was
before World of Warships, Task Force 1942. That was another big one back in the day. But we could go on and on. We want to hear from you guys what you think about. We could carry
on talking for 20 minutes about
and let us know in the comments below, because we could always host another game chat, because amongst the other things that we've done, which is both fly a lot of stuff and a whole bunch of other stuff, we're also avid gamers.
Obviously.
Okay, we are, and it's just something that we do. And lately I've been into Circuit Superstars a little bit. We've been back into Astroneer a couple times. We've been playing Onward in VR, which is a shooter. So we're currently into that. We
still playing World of Warships.
Yeah, we got way too much. We got too much to talk about. Anyhow, remember, like, subscribe, follow. Let us know in the comments below what you think, and we'd love to hear about what games you think should have made the list, what console games, what characters, everything else that you can imagine. Let us know in the comments below. We'd be happy to hear from you.